because this is just so wildly incorrect. It's just causing problems. That should be, though. All right, we got part one of this laptop. This is a Lenovo Yoga 720 13 IKB, and it came in because it needs a replacement. It needs a replacement USB-C port. Because when you plug in a cable into this, it starts like it flashes. Let's go ahead and demonstrate that real quick. And we tried not only the customer's power cord, we tried mine. Plug it in, we get nothing. If we move it around just a little bit, that one doesn't work. Let's try this one. I think they also need a new power cord. Well, none of them are working. Regardless, I did try mine, and I didn't. I got nothing out of it. Let me see if I can get a decent little angle in here for you guys to see this. See if that's working this morning, which it is. And you can see this thing is not really the best of shape. You can see the end of it there is missing some plastic in there. So this is what a normal one looks like. This is the damaged one. Let's see if it moves around at all. Oh, that's a lot of movement. It's way more movement than I expected. Let's look at the other one. Oh, that one moves not nearly as much, but it still moves a little bit.
Hey, thanks for checking out this video. If you like these videos, make sure you hit the like button. If you want to see more videos like this, hit the subscribe button. It really, really helps the channel.
All right, well, let's get it apart. Let's take a look. And we will go from there. I think I dropped my... And we'll verify. That's why we're taking it apart right now. Now, to get this guy apart, this uses these little... They are e-Torx. They're not e-Torx. They're just regular Torx. Let's see. Nope. Not that one. There you go. In total, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And as you're taking them out, as always, verify that they are all the same length. If they are not, then you need to make sure that you keep them separate so you remember where they all actually go. All right, yeah, so here we go. The rear screws are significantly longer than the main screws. So that's the main screw, this is a rear screw. So you can just make sure you keep them separate. And the reason they're longer is because they help support the hinge. All right, go ahead and do that. Now we're gonna remove that. And we're gonna use a little pry tool. Get this apart. I can do orcish. All right, now our USB-C for charging is over on this side. And of course, once you get inside, then we have regular old Phillips heads. So let's take a look and see what this looks like. We're going to look at it under the microscope. And these here I do want to keep in order for this metal plate. This is another one of these Lenovo boards where I had one where I had to replace the USB-C. I ended up having to replace the whole motherboard just because of the way that the USB-C was damaged. And there's a little bit of adhesive holding that on. Line that up. There we go. Wow, the whole thing is in there. Like, I guess let's keep going. We're gonna need to pull out a little screw holder. Get all these screws in here. This is for the bottom. Oh yeah, we're gonna need to get this whole thing apart, and then we're gonna start. Huh, what is that? And where did that come from? What is this? So when I pulled this off, it brought something with it. Let's get a good look here. We need to figure out exactly what this is. I think this might actually go here. I think this might be the cover for this. But seriously, I have no idea what this is or where this even came from. So that was just floating down in there. Interesting. So this is the DC jack that's in the USB-C that's in question. And you can see it's in there at quite an angle. Like, just looking at this back line, you compare that to the one in front of it. So this is the front one. This is the one that does power, and you can see not only is this like severely bent over here, but like the whole jack is bent. So let's get this down to the motherboard. I legitimately, I have no idea where this came from or what this was. If I had to guess though, I think this is something that just sits here to cover the back of that. So just put it in there for the time being. Put it in my holder. Maybe I can figure it out at a later date. Yes, it was plugged in when it was dropped. Hey, did you know I'm Cortana and I'm here to help? Alright, let's do that. And we are going to unplug this battery. At least we're going to try to. That boy isn't moving. Alright. Same as usual, when you're going to take a laptop apart, you want to look for ribbon cables that are coming from outside of the area you're working on and get those unplugged. So there's one, there's two, and with some of these it's going to be extremely difficult to get them out, just the way that everything is designed and in there. Keyboard, and this I believe is going to be the mouse. Alright, so motherboard screws now. And as a reminder with these, as always, when you're working on this, the motherboard will tell you what screws go where, so as long as you keep track of that, you should be fine. Let's go ahead and remove video connector. We're going to need fan screws removed. So this is an M2 by L2.5. These are all the same at this point, so we don't have to keep track of which screws go where. They all look like they go the same. And then the other thing we're going to unplug right away is Wi-Fi connector. And the easiest way to do that is actually leave the cables plugged into the card. Just take the screw out of it, and then just unplug the card from the motherboard and set it off to the side. So just like that. Now that's out of the way, and I have two more screws. One of them is hidden, and I can see it. It's right underneath this Lenovo sticker. Actually, is that post? Nope, that post is in the motherboard. We can put that back in. I was concerned that that post that was there was going all the way through to the keyboard. Alright, so it's the only screw on this that's different. This one here is an M2 4.5. I'll be able to see that when I go to put this back in. Let's see if she comes out. Feels like there's another screw holding this in, but I don't think so. There we go. All right, and there's our motherboard removed. Now, switch back over to our microscope, and which is the one in question? This is, so it's this one, which is this one. And overall, that actually doesn't look that bad. Huh, that's interesting. This has got those little micro guys behind it. That's weird. Alright, here's what we're going to do. We're going to go grab my power cord, because I know for a fact my power cord worked with this. So when I plug this in, there should be a light on the motherboard. But man, you can see like how much movement there is in this compared to the one right next to it. Look at that. Look how little movement there is comparatively. Alright, let's do what we normally do. Let's check some voltages. I'm getting voltage there. Voltage there. Do I get anything off of this? Small voltage, small voltage. No voltage. No. Let's check some power around this. Let's actually check for ground continuity real quick. Alright, so we do have continuity to this pad, which it should have. Actually, let's check someplace else real quick. Let's put that in there. Yep, alright, we're good. Alright, let's look at voltages. Alright, so we're plugged in, we have power. We're going to check for power coming off of this. 0 volts, 0 volts, 0 volts. We have 0, 0, 0, 0. See if this changes at all while I'm moving this around. Let's check this one. No. Check this one. Yep, as soon as I start moving this around, I start getting a voltage on this. For like a split second, I get the proper voltage. Alright, I'm going to check the battery here. I'm getting a voltage there, which is discharging now. Nothing. Checking this battery plug. So when I crank this thing over all the way to the right, I get voltage. When it's just in the regular, I get nothing. So when it's like this, I have something. When it's like this, I have nothing. So that's our problem. So it's 100% this. Let's get this removed. Remembering how much heat this thing actually takes to get off of here, because it is a Lenovo. And then we will figure out which one it is and we will get it ordered. Got a lot of flux on this to remove. All of the connectors for this are underneath it. So getting flux on this is going to be tough. So we're going to put some here. I'm going to put some here. Like I'm not going to be able to. Yeah, this is going to be rough. Man, a lot of these components are really, really close. So here's what we're going to do. First and foremost, we're going to hit each of these points with some flux. We're going to add low melt solder. Alright, let's look at the other side. I don't think there's anything I really was worried about on this side other than literally just the bottom of this thing. So here's what we're going to do. We are going to try and use my new solder flux, or my new solder wick again. See if it's any better today. Like it's super, super like, I'll go everywhere. All right, you know what? Here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna go ahead and turn that on. I am going to try and apply flux, like a glorious amount of flux here, in the hopes that as I heat this up and all of this liquefies, that'll go to the connectors that are under the board. This is gonna be a hope and a prayer on this. I need something to elevate this. No, I'm not gonna use a video card. I can use a hard drive. Yeah, we'll use a hard drive to elevate this. All right, we're gonna warm up this whole area first. We got some low melt solder on all of our points that I have access to. We're gonna hopefully keep track of all of the diodes and capacitors. All right, we're already starting to get good temperatures on this side. Now, a moment of truth. Did we take any pads? We did not. There we go. So let's zoom in a little bit. Something very interesting. We're going to do like a little post-mortem here. To me, this looks like all of these are broken. Which means that when we look at the board, should still be remnants of them. Which, I mean, yeah, this definitely, that's what that could be right there. But here's what we're gonna do. We are definitely melted some plastic. And this is me hoping that that isn't a component they have hidden underneath there. What is this? Let's move this out of the way. What is this? Please tell me there's not a component underneath this. What the hell? Oh, you know what this is? They put that on there so that they can apply this, so that the DC jack doesn't go too low. It's like glue. So let's do a quick cleanup. Yeah, I think it's just a glue to hold that in place. Let's grab our brush. I think it's just like a hey, we're about to go ahead and put these plugs on. Let's just go ahead and glue it on there first. I think that's all that is. Let me see if the alcohol loosened it at all. It did a little. That's fine. We'll get that off of there. I'm wondering if that needs to be on there for padding. Yeah, I think that's in there for stability. This is actually, if this is like their intended method for stability, this is actually a terrible design. I get why they do it, but that means if this is ever replaced like I'm doing now, and I don't have whatever this is at the correct depth, it's gonna wander. All right. We know what comes next. We're gonna clean up these pads. And I think all of these I'm going to do from the other side. Yep, there's that DC jack just straight up broke. Because you can see as I'm going over this, you can see the pads, like what's left of them, just coming up here. So that's crazy. All right, and that's all the vias. Let's look at it from the other side. Looks pretty good. We have a little bit of cleaning up to do, but before I do that, I need to put a couple screws back in this that I didn't need to take out apparently. I am just putting screws back into the heatsink and fan so that these things do not fall out while I have this flipped over. That is one of the last things that I want. Not over there. All right, now we're going to flip it this way. What do we got? What do we got? Yeah, that looks good. I think I just have just a little bit that I want to try and get out of this hole right here. Is that what I think it is? I do believe that's one of the broken pads in there. That is. So let's see if we can't get that off of here. Yeah, that's better. All right, finally, now this is ready for install when we get the new one. We do that, and then we gently do that. Do the same, we give it a flip. I'm gonna need to be very careful because the cover for this LED just came off. Probably just put some gaffer tape on that. All right, so this board is now like relatively cleaned up. Now we are going to try and locate that DC jack. That's interesting. They put stickers over the underside of the fans, so you can't see through them. And what's like really interesting about that is you can see the dust build up on the underside of that. Look at that. All right, so we have our broken. Yeah, this thing had to take like a horizontal hit to snap all of those off. It's about the only thing I could think of that would cause that. And this goes in here. Yeah, it's this. So you were close. It's this. But this is what it is. Yeah, all right, so let's flip that over just to verify. But yeah, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Only thing is, I think on this one, these are the same distance apart, whereas on this one that they're showing here, they're offset. Interesting. This is a Lenovo Yoga 1713 IKB. So I guess let me order one of these. Yeah, it specifically says the pin position is inconsistent with original packaging.
Ah, foreshadowing.
But man, what else are you supposed to do, right? All right, so that's ordered. All right, so we'll pick this up in part 2 of this video. I'm gonna get this ordered, and then when it comes in, part 2 will be me soldering this up. Hey, thanks for watching that video. If you liked that video, make sure you hit the like button. If you want to see more videos like this, make sure you hit the subscribe button. And I stream daily on Twitch at twitch.tv/SpecVengeance. And yeah, if you want to learn more about my services, check out Bradenton PC Repair.com. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.